Jack Dundee married the boss's daughter.
10 years ago, I gave you a job so she wouldn't be married to a bum.
He became a pillar of society.
You're a low-life, blackmailing squid.
I will not even dignify that with a reply.
But there was one mistake he could never live down.
You dropped the ball.
So now he's living it over.
I am throwing down the gauntlet. Ow!
What do I do now? Be cool. Be what?
The Best of Times, rated PG-13.
Starts Friday at select theaters.
Freehold styling mousse is really special. It gives me fullness and hold, and it leaves my hair feeling free. Free, not stiff or sticky. So I don't mind if it costs more. I'm worth it.
Freehold Styling Mousse from L'Oreal.
It's incredible hair color, performing preference, performing with brilliant conditioning, performing for hair so fresh, running your hands through it is a sensual experience. And I'm worth it.
Performing preference from L'Oreal.
Mail's on the table, Mary.
Oh, thank you, Tully. How are you?
Fine.
How's the family? What's the matter?
Well, I'm not used to having people ask me about my actual personal life.
Well, I'm just interested.
Why?
Well, because we work together and I don't know very much about you.
Well, I suppose everybody's fine. My wife's having a little trouble with her back, but she's up and around.
Uh-huh.
My daughter's starting to send off for those college catalogs. Somebody put you up to this?
No, Tully, I just really am interested in you.
Well, would you like to come over to the house for dinner sometime?
Sure, I'd love it.
Really?
Yeah, name the day.
Tomorrow night. No, my wife has folk dance class. Thursday. No, the Union film series is showing Norma Ray. Friday is Dallas. Saturday I go bowling.
Uh-huh. How about Sunday?
Sunday. Good choice. That's the night the old wizard of the barbecue takes care of the cooking chores.
Oh, good.
My wife.
Mail's in. So what do we hear from the shafted of Chicago?
Well, here's an interesting one from an ex-convict who wants to clear his name. Seems he's been appealing to the governor for a pardon for years with no luck. Hey, you know, this could make a good story.
What'd he do?
He stole some tires off a Hudson in 1939.
Well, how do you know he won't do it again? What's in that package, Mary?
Well, I don't know. It's from someone who calls himself Candy Kevin with 2 Ks. Seems he's opening up a new shop, wants me to have this sample of chocolate-covered espresso, beans, and hopes to get my endorsement. Well, I'm sorry, Candy Kevin, I cannot do that.
You know, with that kind of attitude, Mary, people are going to stop sending you stuff.
What, you use your column to get free merchandise?
Well, not as much as I'd like to. Did you see this sweater? This was the result of a column I wrote entitled, Boy, Would I Like a New Sweater? And this shirt? Well, no, wait a minute. I paid for this shirt. Oh, no, I remember. I found it.
All right, here, you can endorse these.
Well, I got to applaud you, Mary. In these days, to have a working system of morals and really stick by them. I'm going to mention these all week.
Good morning, everybody.
Hi.
Hey, did y'all hear who's in the building?
Who?
The man who owns most of the world and this newspaper, Malcolm Burke himself.
Really?
Yep, he's right down in the lobby, boys and girls. And it's a madhouse down there. There's reporters everywhere. There's even one of ours.
He's owned this paper for 3 years. This is the first time he's set foot in the building.
Hey, everybody, guess who's in the building?
Malcolm Burke.
He's here? No, I was talking about the fellow who comes around selling hot jewelry. What's Malcolm Burke here for?
He's looking for a little gold choker.
Oh, smart.
Why do you think he's here?
Well, inside word is he's just in town for a couple of days to check the place out and then move on. At least that's what the guy from the Tribune said.
Yeah. You watch. Every notable and politician in Chicago is going to be up here to kiss this guy's ring. You know, this is just the kind of thing that brings the sycophants and toadies out of the woodwork.
Malcolm Burke, I'd like to thank you for the most memorable elevator ride of my life. And I hope you consider my proposal. It's an idea whose time I believe has come. And if you should want me to recommend any theaters, get you any tickets, if there's anything I can do to make your stay in Chicago more enjoyable, please say the word.
Get your hand off the door.
Yes, sir. You're on your way. Well, I must admit, the man charmed me.
I can't understand you, Ed. Wipe the shoe polish off your tongue.
I ran an idea by him for a television series that I really think's quite exciting. Now, you must bear in mind that I watch television as frequently as Olivier appears on it. But here's my brainstorm, Mary Brenner. A series of specials, each centered on a famous play.
Sounds good.
Ah, wait, there's more. On the set, in the corner, will be your critic, Ed LaSalle. Then, from time to time, I'll freeze the action and offer a critique. I call it Play-by-Play by Ed LaSalle. What do you think?
I like it.
Yeah.
I know when I go to the theater, I'm always annoyed that they'll go through an entire act without stopping.
Well, certainly a few plays would not warrant my intrusion. For instance, during King Lear, it might suffice simply to superimpose me in the corner of the screen, giving Shakespeare one of these. What do you think? Joe? Well, it appears I've made an ass of myself in front of a very important person.
And what are these, Candy Kevin?
Macadamia nuts covered in white chocolate. I'm very proud of them.
I think I can come up with some words on these. I'll take a half a pound.
I really appreciate this.
And I'll take a pound of the amaretto truffles, some of this divinity fudge, and about 100 of these chocolate-covered reception sticks.
I hope you'll mention that for Valentine's Day, we'll be making up some beautiful gift baskets.
Yeah. Who else is opening up in that mall? Any leather shops?
Yeah, right next to me is Ted's Tannery Row.
Great. Tell him I take a size 6.
Well, maybe you do now.
And here's a photo of the kids at the Universal Studio Tour. Hey, that's Dom DeLuise's parking space they're standing in. And here is a shot of my pride and joy. My wife.
Tully, that's your driver's license.
I thought it was an incredibly flattering picture of her.
So you're having dinner with the Tullys, Mary?
Yeah, I am. You ever been there?
Yeah. Wasn't crazy about the neighborhood. But I understand they've parked their home in a new one.
Hi, it's Mary Brenner from the Chicago Legal Helpline.
Morning, troops.
I called the governor's office yesterday and nobody got back to me. Yeah, well, it's kind of important, so if you could have somebody from the staff get back to me, I'd appreciate it. Thanks.
Mary, what do you got working with the governor?
Oh, Frank. What I think would be a terrific story. Here, read that. It's from an older man who committed a petty crime. He served his full term and has been a model citizen for 40 years. It's a kind of a skeleton in his closet. He'd like the black mark removed from his record.
Oh, this is good. This is terrific. I knew this helpline was a good idea. Every so often, you get a story like this you can just take and run with. Mary, I want to throw this on the feature page. Big splash. Get involved. Power of the press. The Chicago Eagle will get this man his pardon or know the reason why.
Oh, no, Frank. I think the less publicity, the better. I mean, the man's carved out a whole new life for himself. I'd like to keep this an anonymous helpline piece.
Mary, you want to help this guy? Your way will take forever. Believe me, when there's a story with pictures on the front page of the Chicago Eagle, then he'll get his pardon.
Well, thank you, Frank, but I'd rather handle it my way.
Mary, I look around me and I only see one private office on this whole floor. And I see the name Frank DeMarco on its door. That must mean he's somebody very important. No, Mary, you and I have an honest dispute here. I want to help this man, get him what he asks for, and in the process, turn this into a warm, interesting story. Show the people of Chicago that this paper really cares. You want to bury it.
No, Frank, I want to honor his privacy. You want to exploit him to sell papers.
Oh, this is a toughie. We better go in there and get his final word on this.
You think you're really cute when you do that, don't you?
You're asking for it.
Really, really cute.
Just get in there.
Frank, I cannot in good conscience do the story your way.
Setting your conscience aside, can you do it my way?
No.
Well, I can respect that. I'll just have someone else write it.
What?
Hey, Mary, why don't you hang out here for a few minutes? Let them think you gave me a hard time.
Frank, you wouldn't really take my story away.
Oh, Mary, don't say my story like it was a puppy. It's news, and this is a newspaper. It's a great human interest story, and I will print it with or without your help.
All right, Frank, look. Look, I know you have the right to decide where to print things.
I do?
And I know you have the right to decide who'll do the articles.
I do.
Wait a minute, I'm arguing this all wrong.
The fact is, Mary, what I say around here goes.
All right, then, Frank. I want to file a formal protest.
With whom? The commissioner of baseball? Mary, there are no protests, formal or otherwise. Here at the Chicago Eagle, there's just me.
King of the Eagle, are you, Frank? The major domo? The grand poobah?
Poobah, Mary.
Whatever.
I've made my decision.
All right, Frank. What about that publisher upstairs? Just how many rungs beneath you is he on the corporate ladder?
Malcolm Burke has nothing to do with this.
He could.
Are you thinking of taking this upstairs?
Something I could do.
Is it something you will do, Mary?
Something I might do.
Well, what will help you make up your mind?
Well, I don't know. Maybe if I knew what would happen to me if I did it.
I can help you there. You'd be fired.
Frank, this is very important to me.
How important? Because if you go over my head, you lose the fight, you lose the story, and your job to boot.
Well, you've certainly shut me up, haven't you? Certainly demonstrated what an iron-fisted ogre you are. There is certainly no doubt what a big...
I thought you said I shut you up.
Would you mind if I slam the door on my way out?
If it makes you feel good.
Do you mind putting your nose in it first?